Okay, 3, 2, 1. Happy Independence Day, people. And with me is Attorney Mel Sta, and today we're going to break down the Anti-Terror Bill, the good, the bad, and what we can do about it. So prior to the recording, we discussed like how we are going to attack this conversation and how we are going to break it down so that mas magandang understanding for the general public. So Attorney Mel, so happy to have you here, and without further ado, let's begin, sir.
Okay, so I suggest that we go into one level and then a second level. The first level is this proposed new law. Sometimes nagiging irrelevant na kasi yung previous law simply because test na ni Presidente. Konti na lang to. Ipirmahan na lang ito. But anyway, what's the main objection? Bakit gusto nilang i-amend? Alam mo, Franco, hindi amendment to, ha? Overhaul to. It is a replacement of one law by another complete set of law. The reason why they want to amend is that sabi nila wala daw masyadong teeth yung old law. Kasi doon sa old law, if you are a law enforcement and if you violate the rights of an individual, nagkamali ka, inintention mo, umalpa ka, you will be liable for damages per day.
It's right? The 500,000 pesos.
Yes. So ang sabi nila, because of that, napipigilan ang mga law enforcement to implement the law. Ibig sabihin, nag-underact sila.
Okay.
Underact.
Yes.
Kaya lang, binago nila yung batas. Ang problema dito, baka mag-overact naman.
Okay. That is true.
Okay? So let's see the new law. Okay. The new law, ano ang mga salient points to? Franco, nabasa mo na yung Section 4, di ba? Ito yung mga events or circumstances that will define what exactly are the offenses.
Yes, sir.
Di ba? Yung number 1, for example. Yung number 1 offense. Yung engages in acts intended to cause death or serious bodily injury to any person or endangers a person's life. Okay. The rest makikita mo
next-pound na lang yun eh.
The rest, yung susunod, parang obvious na kasi extensive, massive damage, talagang yung mga talagang very destructive. Pero yung napakamaliit na clause, no, it endangers a person's life. Yan ang nagiging ambiguous. Almost all probably will come inside that phrase.
Yes.
And then kung bababa ka pa sa batas na yung qualifier, provided that it does not, yung dissent hindi pwede, yung protest hindi pwede, etc. So that's your Section 4. Okay? And then we have surveillance. Yung surveillance naman, sinasabi that upon proper application with the Court of Appeals, they can make a surveillance of anybody except lawyer-client, doctor-patient, journalist-source. Yun, di ba? May mga exception. But generally applicable to all. That's the second one. Ito ang pinakamabigat, Franco. It is actually, baka na out of focus tayo. It is actually the third paragraph of Section 25 and Section 29. Bakit iyon ang ating dapat katakutan? What the Section 25 states? It states that the Philippines will adopt any designation by the United Nations of who is or what are terrorists. So kung may nilista ang United Nations, a-adaptin natin.
Yes.
Yan ang sinasabi ng 25. And then when you look at the third paragraph, in effect, it's saying na kung wala sa United Nations, okay, the government can make a designation. Who will designate? This ATC.
The Anti Terrorism Council.
The Anti Terrorism Council. The third paragraph states that the ATC shall designate any person who commits any of the offenses in Section 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yes.
Yung offenses eh. Then if you will look at Section 3L, it says who is an individual terrorist. A person who has committed Section 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So therefore, ergo, the ATC can designate a terrorist, who a terrorist is. Malinaw yun, logic lang yun.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so, okay. Now, yan ang Section 25. Sabi na Section 25, how will the ATC do this? Only on the basis of probable cause.
Yes.
Alam mo ang probable cause, Franco, ano lang yan? It's in the realm of ebidensya dito. Mukha naman reasonably maaaring mangyari. Ano yun? Maaaring mangyari. So, okay, pwede siya. Terrorist siya. Ganun yun. Okay, ganun yun. Okay, so, having said that, anong procedure? Is there a procedure for the respondent or the subject person to belie the accusation? Answer, none. Will he be notified of these people already parang evaluating him? Answer, no.
Yep.
So therefore, it could happen that you will be called and you're already designated a terrorist. Okay? Bakit napaka-significant yan? Because if you look at the next section, Franco, that's 25, di ba?
Yes.
You have 26. Sa 26, ang nakalagay, the Department of Justice can apply to the Court of Appeals to have somebody declared as a terrorist. And then, you will see that 26 is a very reasonably long one.
Yep.
Nandun ang procedure. No-notify ang respondent, magkakaroon ng hearing, and ultimately, if the evidence so warrants, then the Court of Appeals will make a declaration. So, okay. So now, Franco, we have two ways of declaring a terrorist. No, not we. The law has two ways of declaring a terrorist. One by the ATC, the other by the Court of Appeals.
Yes.
Okay? The Court of Appeals has a procedure. At least doon, pwede ka pa mag-present ng ebidensya. I'm not a terrorist. Correct?
That's true.
Dito sa ATC, wala. Wala. It's so unilateral. Correct? Franco?
Yes.
Only on the basis of probable cause and determined by the Secretaries of Justice, Defense, AMLAC Executive Director, ITC Executive Secretary, DILG. Sila lang yun. That's their group.
Yes.
They can, without any procedure, without calling the other party, okay, they can designate a person as a terrorist. Okay. You know, Franco, it is so easy to provide or supply a procedure. And yet, 25 did not. Makikita mo yun eh. It is so glaring. Eh kung sa korte, bakit kayo nakapag-provide? Ang dali-dali lang naman. Bakit dito? On the basis of probable cause lang, and that's it.
Yes.
So ang nakakatakot yan. So they can designate everybody. And then, Franco, you connect that to Section 29. This is the
clincher. Yeah.
dangerous one. Sinabi ng Section 29, notwithstanding Article 125 of the Revised Penal Code. Actually, yung 125, they are depending on the crime, whether it's grave or mild, you can be detained for 1, 2, or 3 days if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yun. So sabi niya, okay, proceeding from that law, notwithstanding that law, a law enforcement person or a police can take into custody, now Franco, I'm quoting from the law,
Yes.
quote-unquote na to, any person, quote-unquote, suspected of committing the offenses defined in the law. Suspected of committing. Diba? Kaya lang dapat sila may written authority ng ATC. So ang requirement ganito. Okay? Law enforcement agency can take into custody. How? If there is a written authority by the ATC and on the basis of mere suspicion.
Yes.
Alam mo naman, may general rule tayo sa interpretation of laws.
Yes.
If there is no definition set by a law, for example, a special definition for a word, it should be understood in its very normal sense. Okay? Pero, so ito, suspected. is the word suspected defined differently in the law or specially in the law? The answer is no.
Yes.
Because Section 2 is the listahan ng definition. Wala kang makikita. So it should be understood in its ordinary sense. So alam naman natin, Franco, what do we mean by suspected? Sa wika natin, hinala.
Oo.
Hinala, lakas ng kutob ko! Pwede siya! Suspected, ibang-iba. Ibang sinuspetsahan sa pinatunayan. Ang dali namang sabihin, custody of any person custody of people who have been proven to have committed. Ang dali namang ilagay yun eh. Pero hindi. Suspected. Diba? So, iyon ang nakakatakot. Ngayon, ikabit mo na yung 25 at 29, then that makes the ATC a super powerful body. Diba? Diba nakakatakot na? In short, the threshold for apprehension. The threshold for apprehension without a warrant that can place you in custody for 14 days, renewable for another 10 days, 24 days, is merely a suspicion. So, hindi ka mukha sa ordinary law natin, no? Ordinary law, alam naman natin ordinary law is ganito eh. You cannot be apprehended unless there is a warrant of arrest issued by a court. Here you are, juxtapose natin Franco. Here you are, you have a written authority, sa kabila, warrant of arrest. Issued by the court, yun ang nasa constitution natin. Dito, issued by the ATC. Based on probing question by a judge. Dito, suspicion. You see how the threshold is so low, very, very low. Kaya nga, nakakatakot. That's the problem there. Yan ang dalawang provision na talagang tinitignan ngayon ng mga abogado, ng mga kritiko. Makikita mo, lumalabas na yung mga statement ng mga businessman, yung mga statement ng schools, parati nang pumupunta sa 29. 29 because it is really a powerful power. No? Alam mo naman, Franco, if you are given such a powerful authority, di ba? It's a lure. Lure that, a naughty government official may not find may find hard to resist. Alam mo yun?
Totoo.
Power eh. And yet he could point to the law. Ito ay nakalagay sa law, suspicion lang eh. Di ba? And anong problema niyan? It violates the provisions in the Constitution. Sa Constitution natin, Franco, what is a Constitution? A Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Yes.
It contains the powers of government. We delegate powers to the government, executive, legislature, judicial. Kaya lang, we also accept that the powers of government can be abused. So doon sa gitna ng Constitution, may tinatawag na Bill of Rights. Diyan, sabi ng Supreme Court, diyan, sabi ng Constitution natin, generally, no stepping on the grass diyan. Hindi kayo makakapasok diyan. Hindi kayo makakapasok diyan unless there is clear and present danger. So we have doon sa loob ng Bill of Rights, nahandoon yun, yung rule against self-incrimination, nahandoon yung freedom of speech, nahandoon yung freedom of association, nahandoon yung freedom of expression, nahandoon yung free press. Nobody shall be deprived of life, liberty, and property without due process of law. Nahandoon sa maliit na kwadro. Off limits kayo dyan. Unless there is clear and present danger to the state, pwede silang mag-intrude. Diba? Pero in this particular case, the law itself authorizes a very low threshold for intrusion, suspicion. Imagine you could imagine, di ba clear and present danger yan? Yung parang babagsak na ang estado. Di ba? Bakit dito suspicion lang? Yun ang nakakatakot. Yan lang dapat ang tatandaan nyo dyan sa ating sa proposed Anti-Terrorism Bill, and kakabahan ka na talaga. Okay.
Ako lang, sir, kasi I have the main reason why I wanted us to break this down and have a clear conversation about it is because not only do I want people to have a better understanding of the law and how it is interpreted, so at least we have a clear definition of those things. So all the provisions so far din kasi, the way I read it and I understand it, and now you explained it very, very thoroughly, is it also comes from a place of fear. Kasi ako, admittedly, not only like a few friends of mine know about this story. So yeah, syempre, kayong mga nakikichismis sa amin ngayon, malalaman nyo na. I am a person who is highly involved in helping and training our law enforcement people. Kasi ako, malaking bagay sa akin na I noticed and then I acknowledge the fact that yung mga kapulisan natin kulang talaga sa training. As in, kulang talaga sa training. So, in my own way, and I advocate this a lot, and in as much as I don't, pag may tumutulong, kunyari, mga kapulisan natin, kailangan ng tulong, kailangan nila ng training, kailangan nila ng physical preparation, mental preparation for dealing with criminals. Me and my teammates, we do it like wholeheartedly. But at the same time, the same people that I help train are the same people that I fear. Kasi, hindi ko alam kung anong meron sa mukha ko, pero lagi po ako napo-profile kasi. As in, lagi po ako napo-profile. As in, I'm getting flagged down by random cops. Like, eto yun even my girlfriend can attest to this na there was one time we went out, this happened in Banawe. We went out, hinatid ko siya sa kotse na. When I went to my car, the same parked mobile, suddenly, pagsakay ko sa kotse, finlashlightan ako. Tapos, humarang sila sa harap ko. So, parang ako ngayon, anong ginawa ko sa inyo? Di ba? So, that happened, so nangyari yon. And then, there was one time, me and my teammate, we ate at Manila. Pasakay kami sa kotse ko. Pagbukas ko ng pinto, may mobile na lang biglang umano sa likod namin. Winangangan kami. Tapos bumaba sila. Sabi, sino kayo? Saan kayo pupunta? So parang kami, uuwi po. Di ba? So now, bawat checkpoint, yung iba, palulusutin. Pag nakitang ako, biglang check sila. Kailangan tanungin ako ng kung ano-ano. So parang ako naman, okay, since I know my rights, I'm protected by my rights and I'm protected under the law. So, medyo nakakabawas ng kaba yun. Pero syempre, lagi siyang nangyayari sa akin eh. So parang now, with this whole thing, when this came out, to be honest, I read everything. Kasi sabi ko, shit, baka maya-maya, pagtripan lang ako, di ba? I mean, that's possible, di ba, attorney? Like, all of a sudden, di ba, I'm driving, and then all of a sudden, sasabihin ng mga police, hindi, feeling namin, terorista siya eh. Di ba? And then they tell me, baba ka sa kotse mo. Siyempre ako, alam ko rin, but the moment I step out of my vehicle, I'm waiving all of my rights. Diba? So, and I'm giving them authority to search my vehicle. And ito rin naman, maraming mababait na police, marami rin namang hindi mababait na police. Lahat na nang pwedeng gawin, paplantahan ka. Ito na lang they're gonna use this tool and say, I am a suspected terrorist. They can arrest me. They can detain me for a minimum of 14 working days to an extension of 10 more working days without probable cause. And at the same time, once proven that if proven that they messed up, I am not compensated. Simply because the provisions of this law does not mandate it. Diba? So now, and it's validated with your explanation. Now, I'm very happy with this conversation kasi now, a lot of politicians din naman po kasi, attorney, they always say this statement na parang, basahin nyo muna kasi, intindihin nyo muna kasi, dumadaldal kayo sa mga bagay na hindi nyo alam. And then, I also monitor what Mr. Harry Roque is saying na parang basahin muna natin, reviewin muna natin yung batas, and so. Pag nagkamali naman, there are remedies to this. So, sir, in your best knowledge, like, what are these remedies? I mean, how, kasi may remedies, pero ano ba yung katotohanan ng remedies? You're gonna file a appeal. That's a logistical and operational nightmare. That's not possible.
That is correct. Eksakto ka. Mm-hmm. Eksakto ka, Franco. That is exactly correct. Andaing remedy, but by the time it finishes, wow, your damaged goods. Your reputation is besmirched. You have engaged a lawyer, probably you'll pay him. Diba? You have stayed in a custodial place.
Hindi mo alam kung pwede kang torturein doon.
Exacto ka.
Diba? To-torturein ka para umamin na terrorist ka, diba?
ang daling magsalita, di ba? Ang daling magsalita. May remedyo naman, pumakit ka Supreme Court, punta ka sa human rights. Pero Franco, what is the measure of a human right violation? It is not society. It is the individual person. Yung kanyang right, his human right has already been transgressed at the very beginning with emotional, legal, and psychological consequences. Pumasok na yung tatlong niya. And then, okay, financial nga pala, financial pa. Dahil gagastos ka. So, ibig sabihin, you will be damaged surely. At ang ginagawa mo nilang compensate me. But that should not be the law. It should never be. Diba? So umpisa pa lang, dapat meron ng hangganan, barrier . Pero ito sa umpisa pa lang, meron ng allowance suspicion.
Yes.
Kaya
it's very nerve-wracking.
Yes. Alam mo, you also have to, alam mo, Franco, I've been a professor for 35 years sa Ateneo Law School. Ngayon, I'm Dean of the FEU Institute of Law. And I'm thinking, will this affect academic freedom? Isipin mo na lang yan. Franco, no? If the ATC is obligated to come up with a formulation of anything that will prevent terrorism, alam mo ba, and could get the support of the CHED and the Department of Education. Why are these institutions there? Ano relevance nila dito sa security? Tignan ang mga estudyante. For example, Franco, okay? I talk about sa law, and in political science, we talk about, let's say, we study Marxism or liberation theology, or we even talk about Abraham Lincoln when he said that it is the inherent right of a person to go into a revolution if the government is a crooked one, di ba? Sabi ni Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
Tapos, halimbawa, sa El Filibusterismo, sinabi ni Jose Rizal, if I am not now, doon sa mga characters niya, sino ba nagsabi nun? If I cannot now join you in this revolution, I will rise up from the dead kung magkakaroon ulit. Ganon, di ba?
Tama.
Kung ma-misinterpret yan, ng, hindi ko naman sinasabing, yung mga not knowledgeable, not expert police officials.
Yes.
Teka muna, revolution yan na. Then comes in 29, suspicion. Di ba? Uli ka, professor, punta ka dyan. Mag-explain ka kung anong methodology mo. Man, academic freedom, I don't have to explain to you how I teach. So isa pa yon, isa pang angle na tinitingnan ngayon yon ng mga eskwelahan. It might affect academic freedom also. So madaming repercussion ng anti-terrorism law simply because of 25 and 29. Pero Franco, the law is, alam mo, the motivation of the law is good. Let's not forget that. Siyempre naman, ang mga terorista dapat mawala talaga yan dahil panganib talaga sila sa buhay natin yan. Talaga magaling. Kaya lang, in the implementation of the law, nagligay ka ng mga provision na baka na sobra. Na ito yung sinasabi natin kaninang overact, a temptation to overact.
Yes.
Kung baga noon, underact, ngayon, overact. Kaya nakakatakot.
Ayun, that's something I want to, like, sakto lang din yung pasok nung usapan na to is like, what are the good points of the new anti-terror bill? Are there any provisions that have been improved compared to the Human Security Act of 2007?
Meron naman. The grounds are okay. Medyo expand nila and that's good. I mean, if you look at the totality of the law, ang mga objection na lang talaga dyan, yung surveillance, yung 29, yung third paragraph of 25, and yung first instance, first offense, yung Section 3, letter A. Section 4, letter A. Because sa Section 4, letter A, anong nakalagay doon? Ang nakalagay doon, any person who within or outside the Philippines, regardless of the stage of execution, engages in acts intended to cause death, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or serious bodily harm, injury to any person, or alternative to,
Mm-hmm.
endangers a person's life.
Mm-hmm.
So anything can come in. Let's say, for example, Franco, grave threats, a common
Mm-hmm.
crime. Grave
Yes.
threats. You threaten a person's life.
Mm-hmm.
You endanger a person's life. So why are you now? Can you be a terrorist? Kasi
Mm-hmm.
alam mo, that kaya tayo nagkaroon ng anti-terrorism law is to put some gravitas, to elevate the stature of certain normal offense kasi it affects society so much.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya nga yung iba, yung B, C, D, E, F, medyo okay naman. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
nakalagay doon, extensive damage,
Mm-hmm.
extensive destruction of critical infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable, di ba? Parang may
Yep.
qualifier. Pero itong A na ito, well, how can you now distinguish a common criminal from a terrorist? Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
So there you are. Yun ang sinasabi naman nilang vagueness.
Mm-hmm.
Pero the idea of having a terror law against terrorists is
Mm-hmm.
good. Kaya lang ang problema, how you will implement this and how is the law worded to secure effectively the rights of people. Baka magkaroon ng madaming collateral damage.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Kasi now that's gonna be a recurring trend. Like as much as I have researched about this, a lot of people see the objectivity of the law and then yung kailangan yung batas natin na yun. Kasi like for example, the Human Security Act of 2007 is very limiting, and if you check the provisions of each act is just saying na para okay, for this provision just refer to revised penal code, for this provision refer to section ganito of ganyan. So parang feeling ko baka nga mas minadali yung Human Security Act of 2007 kasi it was probably a need during that time, and then siguro they were compensating with this new law. That's why they wanted to pass it so quickly. But at the same time, it's also what do you call this, with section 25 and section 29, by mere suspicion. And then ano ba to attorney, is like so what is going to have they laid down any foundation on what is the entire process? Like for example, from the ACT or the Court of Appeals, how will they trickle the order down to our law enforcement agents? Are they going to undergo some sort of training? Are they going to tell ito ang mga basihan kung ano ang pwede yung as terrorist? And then okay, that's one point. And then the second muna, let's just focus muna on 2 points, sir. Law enforcement agents na application, 'di ba? So syempre ito train mo pa 'yan, tapos sasabihin mo sa kanila, ito yung bagong batas, ito yung paano ganito natin siya i-implement. And on the same side, we live in a digital world. So are we going to include comments on social media posts, 'di ba? And in as much as the digital age is there, people can delete their posts, but people can also create posts for other people. If the current situation is like what happened with Facebook, nagkaroon ng duplication of profiles, what's stopping? Anong gagawin ngayon ni ACT? Hindi, nakita ko sa Facebook post niya eh. And then sasabihin ngayon ng tao, hindi ko naman account yan eh. 'Di ba? Why are we putting so much weight on these things when in fact ako sir kasi lagi ko sinasabi sa mga tao pag naapektuhan sila ng internet, I'm like, God, for God's sakes, internet lang yan. And then with the passing of this bill, biglang naisip ko, okay, tangina, biglang hindi na yan internet lang. Pwede ka na lang gawa ng kaso based on the internet.
Oh, exacto. Yes. Alam mo, yung sinabi mo, Franco, na classic case na nangyari nung linggo, yung dami accounts na nag-proliferate talaga.
Yep. Diba?
Talagang, I think that was premeditated, no? Kasi yung iba,
true.
dami accounts lang. Pero yung iba, merong may yung mga ibang PUP student, di ba, merong mga comments sa ilalim ng mga dapat i-image sila, activista po. Wow, may sumulat na. May sumulat na niyan. So, di ba, tama ka eh. And then, if you're an enforcement agency, at let's say naniwala ka, let's say, on the basis of suspicion, sinabi mo sa ATC, eto po, bigyan niyo po akong written authority. Since the basis is suspicion, then ATC may give you a written authority. And what does that make you? Para kang may presumption of guilt, not presumption of innocence. Kasi nauuna yung okay ang hinala kesa pabaliktarin mo yung hinala. Alam mo yung
That's true.
Nagbabaliktad yung presumption of innocence, nagiging presumption of guilt kasi. Ayan. Pero alam mo Franco, bakit ito nakakatakot? Because false accusations are a reality. Natatandaan mo last year, dinemanda si VP Lenny, mga obispo, mga pare, ilang pa, yung mga 8-8, yung mga ibang natalong kandidato, yung ibang kandidatong hindi na, senador na hindi na, may isa pang senador, about 34 people, dinemanda ng sedition, inciting to sedition, cybercrime law, obstruction of justice, 7 cases. Out of the 34 ata, mga 29, Franco, dismiss ang case. Which means, yung kay VP Lenny, yung doon sa mga obispo, doon sa mga ilang pare, ay walang case from the beginning.
Okay.
Diba? It's
baseless pala.
Thing. Baseless pala. And if that happened last year, ang nag-file niya si IDG, it can happen now. And the worst thing is, what's the threshold? Suspicion. And the worst thing is, kuha ka kaagad. Custody ka agad. 14 days, up to 10 days, 24. Kung nangyari yun ngayon, nandun sila ngayon. Nandun sila sa presinto.
What is gonna be ako rin kasi, I want to make sure din naman kasi na parang, okay, if this is the general provision, of course, there has to be a dissemination to the local government units and they have to establish jurisdiction as well. So, for example, like, let's take the VP Lenny case. So, sabi natin, mere suspicion, they get picked up. Where are they going to be detained? Are they going to be detained in NBI? Are they going to be detained in the local precinct? Medyo hindi rin kasi clear cut ni Anti-Terror Bill kung who has jurisdiction upon arrest.
So tama ka. Kasi normally, when you commit a crime, the jurisdiction is the place where it was committed.
Yep.
But this one is terrorism. At kung makikita mo yung pagka-phrase nung law, di ba? For example, yung pagka-phrase nung law, engages in acts intended to cause death or serious bodily injury to any person or endangers a person's life. Endangers a person's life. It could happen anywhere. Diba? Especially kung na-internet pa yan. Or something like that. Nag-social media ka. Where is the... Baka mamaya filean ka sa buong Pilipinas kasi napasa ng napakadaming tao. So then, tama ka, Franco, it becomes so uncertain. Where is the filing here? Diba? Isa pa pala, maganda. That's a good point you brought up, ha? The vagueness of the jurisdiction. Hirap.
Diba? And these are like, ano siya parang lumalabas kasi for the sake of whoever is going to watch this, sir, like, in as much as you can recall and share with us, like, how is a law passed in Congress? Diba? Kasi may ano yun, diba? First, second, third reading, and then may signing ni President.
Okay, may first, second, and third reading dyan sa House of Representatives. Okay, that is the usual. Magde-debate muna sila, tapos gagawa ng modification, de-debate sila, gagawa ng modification, hanggang mag-third reading, at mag-re-raise na ng hand yan, no? Kaya i-re-register na nila ang vote nila, whatever the outcome of their debates, no? Majority, tapos you have that decision, no? By a majority. Ngayon, after everything is tallied, okay, it becomes what you call an enrolled bill. Okay. Basta't naging enrolled bill, very technical phrase, enrolled bill. Basta't naging enrolled bill na na-register mo yung, nabilang mo na accurately, naging enrolled bill na, hindi mo na mababawi yun.
Yep.
Okay. Yun na ang version ng House of Representatives. Ngayon naman may counterpart sila, ang Senate. Okay. It will follow the same procedure hanggat maging enrolled bill, and then hindi na mababago yun basta't okay na halos lahat. Ngayon, yung dalawang bodies, Senate and House of Representatives, will have a bicameral conference.
Okay.
Usap ngayon sila, if there is, meron ba tayong hindi pagkakaintindi dito? Let's make this coherent, okay? Then gagawa sila ng isang bill. Parang thesis, antithesis, thesis, synthesis. Sinisynthesize nila hanggang makagawa sila ng magandang bill. Dito sa anti-terrorism law, ang nangyari last February, Anti-Terrorism Law. Itong proposal na to, last February of last year,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, nauna ang Senate.
Mm.
So para lang ma-fast track, inadapt ng House of Representatives yung ginawa ng Senate.
Okay.
Para kung sa kaso, parang halos wala ng bicameral meeting kasi kung ma-approve lahat yun na yung na-approve ng Senate noon, di okay na. Wala na pagtatalunan.
Wala na pagtatalunan. Oh.
Nangyari dito, baliktad ang nangyari dito. Kasi hindi naman sa baliktad, kundi nauna ang Senate last year, inadapt ng House of Representatives.
Okay.
So, wala nang halos bicameral meeting. Okay, diretso na sa Presidente, pinirmahan ng Senate, President at saka ng Speaker of the House, nasa Presidente na ngayon. Basta nagkasundo na ang dalawang houses, bibigay na sa Presidente. Now, the President can act either three ways.
Okay.
Number one, he will sign the bill and approve it. It becomes law. Then it will be published. After 15 days from publication, it will be effective. So signing becomes law. 15 days later, after the lapse of 15 days from publication, it becomes effective. That's the first alternative. The second alternative is he will veto it. Ito ang punto dito, Franco. Sa ordinary laws like this one, it's all or nothing. Ibig sabihin, the President cannot say, I veto Section 25, I veto Section 29. Walang ganun. Sa budget lang pwedeng, mag-line veto. Yung ating General Appropriation Act, doon lang pwede lang ang Presidente mag-line veto noon. Ayoko nitong pondong to, ayoko ng pendo to. Pero sa ordinary law, it's all or nothing. Okay. So now, the President can veto it totally, in which case, babalik niya ito sa Congress, sa House of Representatives, and both houses again, pwedeng mag-counter veto sa President by a 2/3 vote. Kung ma-counter veto nila ang President by a 2/3 votes, hindi na babalik sa Presidente. Ipapublish na ulit yon after the lapse of 15 days. It will become law even if without the signature of the President. Ito na ang third way. The first way, sign, agree, publish after 15 days, effective. Second, veto, balik sa Congress, 2/3 votes, counter veto, don't need the President's signature. After 15 days from publication, effective. Ito na yung pangatlo. If the President nasa desk niya does not do anything, zero, tinulugan, okay? Zero, wala siyang, hindi niya finito, wala lang siyang ginawa. It will lapse into law after 30 days. Meaning to say, after 30 days without doing anything, the law will become, the bill will become a law as if the President has signed it and published it for 15 days. After that, effective na. So those are the three ways. So any president, halimbawa, any president, not necessarily this president, any president, let's say, nagkaklamor ang mga tao, ayaw namin ng bill na yan, sasabihin ng presidente, any president, okay, I'm with you, ayoko ng bill na yan, patutulugin ko yan. The law will operate itself. Diba? It's sigawan ng mga tao, Yahoo! Alright, yay! The president is with us. Pero kung wala siyang gawin after 30 days, it becomes law as if signed by him. After the lapse of 15 days, it becomes effective. That's how a bill becomes a law, and that's how a law becomes effective. Yan.
Kasi, and to that point, we've talked about what the three things that the president can do. Are there also remedies as to, like, are there other possible remedies, like can when it goes back to Congress, or can several people from the Senate or Congress work with the judicial system, like they appeal it to the Supreme Court? Can the Supreme Court overrule this? And another question I have, sir. Okay. Sige, let's do that muna.
Okay. For example, it becomes a law. Okay? You could question the constitutionality of a law with the Supreme Court. Pero normally, Franco, dapat may masampulan muna. Ibig sabihin, somebody's rights must have been violated by that law before it can go up to the Supreme Court so that that person who's going up will have what you call a standing. Kasi kung wala pang nai-injure, wala pang dapat mag-question, di ba? Pero there are certain cases where if the Supreme Court treats it as a case with transcendental, quote-unquote, transcendental issue and value, even if wala pang nasasampulan, they can take cognizance of that and decide the constitutionality of the law. So ito, talaga, ang punta mo na talaga dito, if this becomes a law, is with the Supreme Court.
Kasi, I mean, syempre ako, I'm not a lawyer, I could be talking out of my ass, pero ito yun di ba? At the end of the day, if it goes against the Constitution, then it shouldn't be passed on as a law. Di ba? Kasi at the end of the day, the Constitution is the law of the land. So if the law of the land says that we are protecting the Bill of Rights, we're protecting everyone's individual rights, and based on human law and natural law, if this goes against it, then can we argue na there's a possibility na syempre mas papanigan dapat si 1987 Constitution?
Yes, of course, yes. Kaya nga you have here, for example, kung pinaproba ng presidente, there are 3 branches of government, Franco. You have the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. They check each other. Ang pag-aabuso ng kabila, sasabihin ng checkin ng isa. Ang pag-aabuso ng kabila, checkin ng isa. Pero in this particular case, alam na natin, dalawa na nagsanib.
Si legislative tsaka si executive.
Legislature. Ito na lang ang natitira talaga, ang judiciary. And we exactly do not know the mettle of this present Supreme Court justices. Kasi tanda mo, majority na dyan was appointed by the present president. So there is no test for them yet as to their independence, as to their soundness of minds in
making judgments.
Such a crucial vote like this. So the question now is, are they independent enough to say, okay, Mr. President, legislature, we say no, unconstitutional. Can they say that? We do not know. We do not know. Kaya yan talaga ang titignan natin ngayon kung what will happen there. You are.
Kasi
and everything's in the balance.
Yes, totally agree. That's 100% true. And ako rin naman kasi as a voting citizen, I'm like, don't we have enough laws already? I think we have an abundance of laws, and ang problema lang is the implementation. That's one big problem that I see. It's like we have too many laws already, and then we just don't. We're good at making laws. Actually, we're good at making laws. We're just really bad at implementing them. And then at the same time, we're so bad at siguro, we're just bad at apprehension. Kasi the people who are supposed to implement the law and carry out the law don't know the law. Diba? Is it safe to say that, sir? Diba? Parang yun yung problema natin as a society. So as of this recording, there are people who are going to do a mañanita in UP Diliman. So for sure, diba? It could be branded as freedom. They're probably exercising their freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom to assembly, freedom to express their feelings, and be natural citizens of the Philippines. However, if this law is passed, do you think there is going to be a limit, or that will be totally be eradicated because now all of a sudden these people can be branded as terrorists?
Yeah, okay. So many presumptions of the Constitution will just fly, no? For example, yung pinag-usapan natin yung presumption of innocence. Wala. Okay, baka mawala yun. Yung kanina nag-usap tayo sa academic freedom, baka it might be endangered. And nag-usap rin tayo sa kasi sabi ng batas, no law shall be passed depriving any person of life, liberty, and property without due process of law. O yun, yung due process of law yun, baka mawala. Tandaan natin, if the ATC designates a person as a terrorist, they can immediately apply to the AMLAC and have the assets of that person frozen. So grabing epekto. It's punitive in character talaga. So nakakatakot. So that's it. Alam mo, Franco, no? Again, I go back. The wisdom of the law is No, in a sense, good. Correct? Because we want to eradicate terrorists. We want to put them in jail.
Yeah.
Diba? We really want it. Kaya lang dapat ang mga provisions of that law, in so effectuating the wisdom, dapat yung batas is clear enough to secure also the Bill of Rights. Ibig sabihin yung I cannot be apprehended on suspicion lang, ha? So dapat may ganon. So ako actually technically Franco, no, technically in a way ang advocacy ko, let's look at the law. Bigyan niyo pa ng time. Let's try to examine it again and see where are the palpak provisions there. Baka naman pwede pang maayos, di ba? Pero it seems na, well, it's all or nothing ang nangyayari ngayon. At saka ang dali.
Sige, sir. Pero given with exactly what you said, now, this is something that our politicians are good as well. Magaling sila mag-revise na kung ano-anong ginagawa nilang batas. So, when this law is passed, sabihin na natin, wala tayong magagawa, nandiyan na sila. Can we go back to Congress and Congress can just convene themselves together, get their acts together and say, I think we messed up on this line, Can they make revisions on a law that has been passed? Is it possible?
Oh, yes, pwede pa naman. But I doubt whether they will do it as soon as possible because they want to have kasi nakakahiya naman, di ba? Na siguro, I don't know. Sa tingin ko, walang problema kahit nakakahiya eh. Kasi baka sabihin nila, hindi pa naman napapa-effectuate yan eh. Subukan muna natin, sampulan muna natin.
Oh, di ba?
Problema eh. Kasi yung masasampulan, alam na natin, naku, delikado yun. Delikado yun. Alam mo, going to another point now, Franco, no? Yung sinabi mo kanina, and it's really very true. Ang dait talaga nating batas. Sometimes I really think that senators and congressmen should also have one job, additional job. Alam mo yun? To screen all our laws.
Yes.
Tanggalin na yan. Pwede ba wala na yan? Ito wala na yan. Di ba? Ang nangyayari kasi, mindset kasi, basta naging legislature ka, gawa tayo ng batas, ha? Gawa tayo ng batas. Kumpul-kumpul na. Ang dai-dai na. Di ba?
But is there a provision in the Constitution that allows Congress to get rid of laws? Kasi ako rin, I really feel like ang dami natin batas na either outdated or hindi na kailangan. And then
correct ka dyan.
And we have to update them. Diba? There's so much to be pero siguro kasi they don't want to do the paperwork.
I'll just give you one example. Meron
tayong
negotiable instrument law. Alam mo ba ito? Ito yung mga promissory note. Yung gagawa ka ng promissory note yung mga rules on promissory note. Gas, Franco, wala ng promissory note.
Wala.
Even checks are becoming obsolete. Alam mo yun?
Diba?
Mag-online ka na lang, transfer. Diba? They really have to look at our previous laws and just say, repeal na to, tama na to, para kumonte. The plentiness of the law confuses society.
Yes, that is true. 100%.
Nagre-research. Saan ba tayo pupunta? Anong batas yan? Sige, hanapin natin. Maganda. There you are. Alam mo ba, I will just give you an example, Franco. During the enhanced community quarantine, the DSWD made an announcement warning everybody that all those who are accepting and receiving donation must first register with them. Kami talagang donasyon na yan, magre-register pa kami. Alam mo kung ano yung batas na yun? It was a law promulgated in 1978 or 76.
Oh my God.
Nakahugot eh. Nakahugot ng batas eh. Ang sabi nga ng mga abogado, hindi na applicable yan. Although it's there. That is under normal circumstances. This is pandemic.
Diba?
Have to put it in context naman. Because that's just an old law. Ayun, binawi. Mabuti na lang binawi.
And this is such a good point that you're making. This is exactly what listeners and viewers of this podcast are going to learn from. More often than not, we are hindered by the very laws that are in place. Like, if you want to get something done, you have to search first. Is there an existing law? Second, are we going to be prohibited by this law? Number 3, we have to follow the provisions and instructions of this law before we can carry out any project. So that's why yan, pagka nag-uusap-usap kami mula sa family ko and then sa sasabihin ng mga tao, hindi, ang dali-dali naman, dapat gobyerno naman sila, pwede nilang gawin yan eh. And then I tell them there are systems in place, there are rules that have to be followed, and everyone has to follow procedure. Unfortunately, the procedures that we have are very inefficient. So I'm very happy that you are one of the people that said na we have to delete some of the laws that are existing because it inhibits us from moving forward. And I really think that feeling ko naman siguro naman yung Kongreso natin, I mean, we have 365 days in a year, so X number of calendar working days, you can probably dedicate like a week to do it, di ba? Ito na lang yan, mga congressmen, senador, ito po, ang pogi nyo, gawin nyo to ngayon. Kasi 2022, pwede nyo sabihin sa mga tao, nilinis ko yung batas. Ha? Boto nyo ako, 2022. Ayan, di ba? So,
alam mo ba, Franco, we have two laws on bouncing checks.
Mm-hmm. What?
Tapos,
teka lang, nagtrabaho ako sa bangko. Okay.
Isa estapa, isa bouncing check law. Wala nang gumagamit ng estapa, yung bouncing check law na lang kasi the mere issuance is a crime. Yung isa estapa, pwede nang burahin nila actually. Wala nang gumagamit yan, obsolete na yan. So, yun.
Okay. Another thing that I'm thinking like top of my head during this conversation is it reinforces my belief that we live in a band-aid society. Like, kaya na mismo yung usapan natin kanina, kailangan mo na may masampulan, kailangan mo na may mangyari, di ba? We're not preventive eh. And it's actually sad. It's actually sad na parang kailangan meron mo ng masaktan, meron mo ng someone's rights have to be. I think it's the same thing that's gonna happen that happened or is happening in the United States. Someone's rights has to be violated. It has to be seen by the public before we realize that could be me. Diba?
Yeah.
Diba? That could be me. I'm like, oh shit, nangyari sa kanya, baka mangyari rin sa akin yun. Diba? And I think, ano rin yan, diba? I don't know if I have to reread the bill again. Like, are there provisions na does it specifically state things people say on social media? Or the use of technology?
Well, it's so comprehensive. A crime is a crime, whether you commit it in social media and in actual face-to-face, it's still a crime. And the anti-terrorism law is actually a criminal statute. So makikita mo sa bandang huli, na doon yung mga penalties. Like for example, sa inciting to terrorism, I think 12 years na yun. 12 years na yun. Nandun. Kalagay ito.
Diba? And then for people who don't know, like however you want to explain it, kasi sabihin nila, don't do terroristic acts. So sabihin na natin, okay, mere suspicion, you get apprehended. Let's explain to people like what happens to you when you get arrested. So that you get a clear picture of what happens.
That's a good point. Okay, when you are arrested, Franco, you are taken into a precinct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, basta tanda mo, basta dinala ka sa presinto, wala ka ng control.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes.
That custodial investigation immediately sets in. You are not in control. You will never be in control. Because the people around you are the powerful ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the danger lies.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya nga nagkaroon tayo ng Republic Act 7438.
Mm-hmm.
Republic Act 7438 defines the rights of a person who is under custodial investigation. Magugulat ka. Do you know the Miranda law sa Amerika? You have the right to be silent, right to a competent counsel. You need not talk, otherwise it will be taken against you. Meron rin tayong Miranda rights. But because of our experience ng martial law, dinagdagan natin. Okay. Aside from you have the right to be silent, aside from you have the right to have counsel, aside from any statement you make without counsel will not be taken against you. Aside from those rights, eto pa dapat hindi makalimutan ng mga ating mga kababayan. Mm-hmm. You are entitled to be visited. Eto, magugulot ka by a priest. by a doctor, by a representative of an NGO.
Okay.
If it is local, accredited by the Office of the President. If it is international, no, if it is local, accredited by the Commission on Human Rights. If it is international, accredited by the President. Ito pa, you can be visited by your parents, your niece and nephews, your other relations, your fiancé, girlfriend mo, boyfriend mo. They are allowed, as a matter of right, your right to be allowed to be visited by them. Your grandparents. So in short, dapat alam ng mga ano natin yan.
Kababayan natin.
What's the point, Franco? Because precisely if you're the only one there, baka kung ano mangyari sa'yo. So therefore, the law 7438 allows you to have as much persons there as possible.
Walang limit to. Walang limit? Like,
or sinabi sa'yo, pwede priest, doctor, lawyer, fiancé, parents, grandparents, niece, representative of NGO. Kung meron ka niyan, papuntahin nyo kaagad. Because delikado, pasatado ka. That is your Republic Act 7438. And alam mo pa nakalagay sa 7438, this is not everybody does not know this. An invitation by a police is included in that right. Kasi meron tayong previous case, People versus Dilao. Nung martial law, madalas mag-invite ang police. So rampant, invite, tapos nagiging custodial investigation na. So sabi ng Supreme Court in People versus Dilao, an invitation like that, tatuktok sa bahay mo, invited ka nga, punta ka nga sa presinto, an invitation like that is an euphemism for an arrest without warrant.
Yes.
Kasi the effect will be the same. Diba? You will be placed in a precinct on your own. So that is just a maneuver to not say it's an arrest, but actually it is. So in-institutionalize yun sa Republic 7438 saying that these rights will come into play even if the case is an invitation.
Okay. Kasi yan, magiging it suddenly becomes ewan ko rin, sa mass media natin, sa mga TV shows, like, yung portrayal ng mga pulis na parang iniimbitahan lang naman namin Di ba? A lot of people, for sure, a lot of people don't know that when you go to a police station, it's like you surrendering your rights or you going there on your own volition. So parang ka nag-sign ng waiver.
You are putting yourself in an uncontrollable environment. Diba? So there. Kaya alam mo, dun sa nakikinig sa atin na Franco, basta't may tutok-tok sa kanila, ganun ang invitation, siyempre mahirap kang makapag-blast. Be friendly with the police.
Yep.
Be really friendly. Just talk to him. Just tell him, may warrant of arrest pa po dito. Sabi niya, wala, invitation lang to. Okay, go ahead. Mahirap makipagtalo. You have a copy of Republic Act 7438 with you. Tapos, pwede po pakabasa to. Baka malinawan tayo lahat.
Okay.
Ngayon, kung nag-i-insist pa rin siya, tandaan nyo, you must have people around you, witnessing what's happening.
Or you take a video. Ayan, taking videos.
Because there is no expectation of privacy. Tapos sabihin mo, bibidyo ko po ito, ha? Wala namang masama doon, sabihin. So, there you are, dapat. Tapos sabihin nyo, teka muna ako, magsasama ako, ha?
Okay.
Sasama ko po, sandali, ha? 3 po girlfriend ko, sasama ko, ha?
Biglang magkakaalaman pala sila. Teka, sabay-sabay pala tayo. Pero,
nakalagay sa batas yun, even your fiancé has a right to be with you. To visit you. Ganun talaga. Sandali lang po, sasama natin yung dalawang dalawang yung maternal grandparents ko tsaka paternal grandparents ko, ha. Tsaka magdadala na rin po kami ng pansit malabon.
Oo. Para may bao kasi matagal-tagal to.
Nasa labas na lang po sila ng presinto. Pero ayoko po kasi magpaiwan.
Diba? And with in connection to what you just previously said, how are we with regards to, like I said, this is another conflicting debate and it happens on social media. No one's always asking a lawyer. When you take photos or videos of apprehension, is that legal or not? Like, let's say from your basic traffic violation to an actual
Okay.
arrest.
Meron tayong anti-wiretapping law.
Okay.
Okay? The anti-wiretapping law, as a default mode, this is the general rule. You cannot tape, you cannot video without the permission of the other party. That's the general rule. But sabi ng Supreme Court in one case, but if you are in a place where there is no expectation of privacy, and dahil taong naglalakad, etc., then therefore, that is not anti-wiretapping. Yun ang sabi ng Supreme Court sa isang case.
So it's like...
Because ang dahil naman tao everybody can hear you. Diba? A police, huhulihin ka ng police. That should not be by whispers.
Diba?
Something like that.
So is it like as long as it's in a public domain, then by all means?
Yes.
Okay.
No expectation of privacy. In a road, there is no expectation of privacy in a road. Diba? So sana pinapasok kayo sa isang kwarto, nag-usap kayo, ganyan, or telephone call, or cellphone call, ganun. Yun, di pwede yun kasi may expectation of privacy yun. Pero kung wala, the environment is such that, anyone passing by can hear it, sabi ng Supreme Court, might not be within the anti-wiretapping law.
And kasi magiging like you will see this on, I am not making this up. You can search YouTube or Facebook and Instagram. Like there are either police officers or traffic enforcers when someone is trying to take a video of them. Sasabihin nila, bawal yan or wag niyong gawin yan. Or minsan to the point wherein they confiscate or they acquire the recording device of their apprehended person. Yung iba, lalapitan ka, pipilitin nilang i-delete mo. Diba?
Kaya nga, Franco, that's the rationale yung mga CCTV, di ba? Hindi sila makaangal. Because what's happening on the street, di ba? Hindi nila pwedeng sabihin, teka, that CCTV, I did not give my consent for that CCTV to take my picture.
Okay.
Hindi mo magagawa yan
Okay.
Because nasa kanto Diba?
Okay, that makes absolute sense. Now, may naalala lang ako, sir. Let's go back to the Anti-Terror Bill and then we went from apprehension to arrest. And then let's go a step further now. So for example, you got arrested, you got detained for a minimum of 14 days, extendable to 10 more days, di ba? So you're there, you're alone, you're isolated, your rights are deprived, and then all of a sudden, by some sort of miracle, you're not a terrorist pala. Can we explain to people the logistical nightmare that is an appeal? Di ba? Yung mga legal remedies na sinasabi na lang ngayon sa news kada may press conference. Kasi they say all these things. May remedy naman yan. Meron tayong provision sa batas na nagpo-protect sa rights ng ating mga citizens. Pero they're not explaining, or if the media is asking them, paano po ito, they don't want to say. So, in your knowledge, sir, like how is this going to happen?
So, for example, you file your remedy with an ordinary court. Nag-file ka ng writ to release or writ of habeas corpus. Siyempre, iraraffle pa yon sa isang judge, di ba? At pagkatapos, pag naraffle yon, papasagutin ng kabila. Di ba? Tapos, kung nagkaroon ng resolution, pwede pang i-apila sa Court of Appeals. Kasi habang inaapila ang decision, Franco, it's not yet final and executory. Diba? So, apila ng Supreme Court hanggang sa Supreme Court, siguro makakaabot tayo ng 1 taon at the least. O probably 1 year. Okay. But anyway, basta naman, if it's bailable, you could pay fianza ka. Pero by that alone, gagastos ka na.
Yes, exactly.
100,000 bail, 78. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa yung financial, economic, physical, psychological damage, papasok na almost immediately. Basta't ikaw ay na-inconvenience na hulihin. Talagang papasok na yan.
And what are the economical, financial, and social effects of being arrested based on suspicion under the Anti-Terrorism Bill? It's like, are you going to be labeled? Are you going to be docketed under like that is a suspected terrorist? Or how is it going to affect your job? How is it going to affect your financial standing? Is it going to be a permanent record on your name?
Well, basta final sa court already, basta't na-file na sa court, bibigay na yan sa NBI. Okay? Basta't nasa preliminary investigation pa lang, wala pa. Okay, nasa ATP. Pero basta't sinampa sa korte, ayan, almost automatic, bibigay na yan sa NBI. Ayun, basta't kumukuha ka na ng
NBI
clearance mo. Ang tawag doon, hit.
Oo,
hit
magkakait ka.
Nakalagay nyo doon. So,
And ano yan?
suspicion.
Yes, sir. And definitely, if you're on the NBI's database, for life na yan, di ba? So every time you get an NBI clearance, you have to get every time you get an NBI clearance, kailangan you go through the next step of clearing your name muna. You have to provide certain documents. Diba? Hassle yan. And then,
hassle talaga. For example, na-acquit ka. Na-acquit ka lang. After all these years, na-acquit ka. Hindi automatic yun na baka hindi ipasa ka agad ng korte sa NBI yung acquittal orders mo. So, kampante ka. Akala mo na doon, normally ang nangyayari sa mga na-acquit o nag-serve na ng sentence, kumukuha ulit ng mga file sa korte, certified true copy, sila na ang nagdadala. Kasi basta naka-serve ka na ng sentence, Franco, or the case is dismissed, pwede mong paburahin annotation.
Okay.
Sa NBI clearance mo, pwede mong pabura basta serve ka na ng sentence o na-dismiss ang case.
Okay. So,
pero kamali, mistaken identity.
Oh, pero like for example, now you're going to apply for a job, 'di ba? Kahit na sabihin you get sentenced, and then your name is cleared from the annotation. How are you going to answer the questions during employment, bank loans, and property acquisition na parang were you, di ba? May ganun, di ba? Parang were you charged of a crime? Paano yun? Do you still tick yes or can you tick no? Kasi wala na yung annotation.
Magandang observation yun. Unfortunately, sa mga questionnaire na ganyan, tumitigil sa have you been charged of a crime eh. Wala na yung what happened to the charge.
Exactly, di ba? Wala eh.
Wala eh. Have you been convicted of a crime? Oh my God!
Diba? Tapos pag if yes, what charge lalagay mo? Terrorism. Diba? Lalagay mo or parang violation of the Anti Terror Bill. So syempre, kung ako yung institution na yun, na parang oh my God, ano to? Diba? So
mabuti yun kung paper-based. Franco, kung paper-based, siguro masusulatan mo pa. But it has been this pursuant to decision. Kung online yung application.
Exactly. Patay ka dyan. Patay ka dyan.
Hindi mo masasigitan. You are captured ka na dun sa mga tinatanong lang eh. Pero dun sa paper-based application, baka maligyan pa ng annotation eh.
Diba? Kasi, I mean, people are looking at the immediate effect on people and on society, on their liberties. I saw that, but at the same time, I also saw like the post effects of everything. I'm like, okay, when this goes, diba, when you're going to physically, emotionally, psychologically destroy a person based on suspicion, and it will affect his entire life. So I mean, for me, kasi ito lang yun eh. I approach everything in a very simple way. If you don't do stupid shit, don't do bad things, then nothing will happen to you. Pero with this one, those are my apprehensions. That's why I'm asking someone who's better than me na parang, okay, how do they define suspicion? Did they I didn't see any provision kasi how they defined and broke down suspicion. What are the qualifications to suspect someone of terrorism or doing terroristic acts, and they never really put into consideration the human factor, diba? I mean, our law enforcement agents are not bred the same way. They are not indoctrinated in the same way. They didn't grow up the same.
Ang ganda niyan from observation mo yan. Alam mo yung stop and frisk?
Yes, yeah.
Yung
kakapkapang ka.
Ang isang important element nun, you must be in a place that is in a way a dangerous place. So ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng pumasok at isang pulis sa restaurant, nakita ka, tumayo ka na, kakapkapan kita. Cannot be. Stop and frisk must always be in a place that is in a way dangerous. Diba sa alley na dark, ganun dapat yan, doon ang stop and frisk. Yun. Pero at least yun may probable cause. Diba? Yun ang sinasabi mong, yung word na suspected or suspicion, walang ganong ano eh. There is no definition, there is no threshold, there is no regulation. At least yung stop and freeze, alam mo, you can do it in a very dangerous ways. Meron na.
Diba? Opo. Kasi I'm like, okay, now, I think for me, that's a lot scarier part. Like, and then, ito pa pala, so you get, sabihin na natin, you were suspected, you were invited, let's use the word invited, okay? You were invited to a precinct, and then they tell you na you're a suspected terrorist or you're in violation of the Anti Terrorism Bill. So they detain you for 14 working days, an additional 10 working days. And then, yun nga, now it just popped in my head. Kasi, ayan, you talk about the appeal. And the process pala could last for almost a year. So what happens now, 14 days plus 10? So after the additional 10th day, what is going to be the remedy of the person? So can we just say na, oy, teka lang, 24 days na ako nandito, wala pa kayong napapakitang ebidensya, wala pang kinakaso sa akin, wala pang procedure. What is the remedy of this person now?
After the 14-day period, dapat 10 plus 40, 14 plus 10, 24, no? Let's say, minamaximize nila yan. Dapat, kung tutuloy nila, nasa korte na. Nasa korte na. Franco, doon pala mag-uumpisa ang trial.
Doon pa. Diba? And while you're in trial, nakakulong ka pa rin. Diba? Yun.
Tapos, magpapiyansa ka.
Yes.
Yun, pwede ka naman makakawala, magpiyansa ka lang. So, yun. Pero alam mo, one thing, madaming nagsasabi, Franco, din sabi, if you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to hide.
Yes, that is the common smoke screen right now. That's yun yung laging ginagamit, sir, ng ating mga advocates nung bill. So what can we say about that?
Alam mo, it's too vague.
It's too vague.
Why are you putting it on me? It's not me. It's them.
Oh.
You know what? It's not me. I know. I have nothing to hide. But I cannot control them. I cannot control them. That is the point kasi suspicion ng threshold.
Yes.
Diba? Don't look at me. I know that. I have nothing to fear. Because I have nothing to hide. But that guy. Diba? He is the one you have to look into, not me. Siya ang sabihan mo. Diba? Kasi mali ang focus eh. Mali ang focus doon.
And then, ito rin pala, everyone's, majority of the people are blaming the House of Representatives and the Congress. Now, apparently, may bicameral meeting pala dapat. Can we just say that the Senate is equally liable to, or is equally responsible pala for the implementation of this bill? Diba? They have a role in this as well.
Very good point. Nakakalimutan natin ng Senate. No, madami ng mga ibang senator na, it's such a disappointing thing, Bakit? Dalawa lang ang tumanggi sa Senate eh. Si Ontiveros at si Kiko, si Senator Kiko. The rest, either abstain or okay na. So you're correct. You're correct. Our eyes should not only be on the House of Representatives. Our eyes should now be also on the Senate who voted yes. Pero ngayon, nasa President na. It's ball game na ng President to, whether he will veto it, lapse it into law, or sign it as law. Tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari.
Diba? And diba? And 2020 is very interesting for everyone in the world, and then all of a sudden, icing on the cake to sa mga Pilipino, we're handling this pandemic, and then all of a sudden, there's this cloud above our heads na parang, okay, we're already living in a world of uncertainty. Are we going to add more uncertainty moving forward? Medyo ano siya. It's we can only pray and hope that diba, things get better or a lot clearer. Kasi
like you Franco, sometimes I think this way why do you have to have these people wanting to make the Filipino people go through this anxiety? What's the point, man? Man, bakit nyo ba ginagawa ito? Laki ng problema na eh. Bakit mo pa dadagdagan? Why do you have to make people go through all these things? Sometimes it's just, ano ka na lang eh. You could just, nakabuntong hininga ka na lang eh. Nako. Ayan na naman. Sige. As soon as may mawawala, may papasok na
May
panibago.
may pababa na tayo bigla. Anti-terror bill. Di ba? And are you...
Okay, look.
Okay, sir. Go.
Look, tignan lang natin yung mga nangyari this last 3 months, okay? Merong isang high official dyan, pumunta sa ospital. Diba? Dapat hindi siya pumunta sa ospital, Senator. Di ba, madaming nagalit ng mga tao. Okay, okay. Pero bumaba na yun eh. Tapos bigla namang, okay, may binaril sa Quezon City.
Patay.
Diba? Patay. Bumaba na yun eh. Diba? Bababa na yun eh. Tapos biglang, okay, alright, pababa na yan, pababa. Alright, manyanita.
Manyanita naman.
Manyanita. Pero na naman, shit, sabi mo, paano yan? Tapos, pagkatapos ng manyanita, dahil nandun tayo, ganun tayo eh. Ganun yung, hindi, ito na naman, okay, pandemic, ito. Ano ba? First wave ba yan o second wave ba yan?
Hindi ba? Parang kalokohan na nga eh. Ako, feeling ko kalokohan.
So just when some issue will go down already, merong lalabas eh.
Yep.
Di ba? Para tayong gumaganyan, no? Walang katapusan.
Pero in terms of this, in light of everything that has happened to us, can we Pino madaling makalimot din? Di ba? I mean, I always I even posted it on my social media. I'm like, someone has to document everything that happened in 2020 so that on 2022 they replay this whole thing and then we can weed out who are our real leaders. Kasi at the end of the day, for Filipinos, and this is another thing that I shout all the time. Hindi na nga I don't post, I shout eh. Parang sinasabi ko sa mga tao, if you want change, you have to register. You have to vote. Diba? It's the only tool we have. But the thing is, registering to vote and the actual voting is not sexy. Diba? It's not a very sexy process. It's something that you cannot post on your social media. Diba? So at least this is something, pero ako personally, this is something that we can do. That's something that as voters are in control of, diba? We are in control of putting people into power who are supposed to look after our well-being.
Yeah, that's good. Alam mo, you're correct. No? Let's not feel helpless. No, I mean, kamukha ngayon pandemic, our movements are limited. This is now the right time to make social media work for us. Actually, do it in a positive way. No, yung kung may gusto niyong punahin ng gobyerno, just do it. Criticism is not that bad. No, just do it civilly, legally. Like this one, talagang with substance, diba?
Yep.
And tama ka eh. And you know what? Voting is not merely choosing a person. It's within the concept of your freedom of expression.
Yes.
You are expressing your advocacy. I like that person because I like what he said. So I am lining with this advocacy. It's part of your freedom of expression and freedom of speech, di ba? So mas malalim pa yon. Kaya even if matalo yung binoto mo, I have expressed myself, and I'm not ashamed of that.
Yep.
And you are exercising so many rights in just one act, di ba?
Exactly.
Yon.
Exactly. Kasi ito yun eh. I'm like, kahit ako, nagdedebate ko ng mga kaibigan ko niyan. I'm like, kaya ako, di ako boboto kasi wala namang kwenta, wala namang pinatutunguhan. I'm like, no. Pag ka mag-alala, wag mong gagawin yun. Kasi kung you're actually giving other people the authority or illegal means to use your name to vote for another candidate, di ba? So,
right.
Kaya ako, I'm like telling people, I mean, ang hirap niya. Admittedly, ang hirap niya. Kung pwede ko lang i-record yung proseso, ang init pumila, ang init. Di ba? And that, I do not understand this government. I'm like, para sa akin, maraming pera ang Pilipinas. I mean, sige, kung gusto nyong kumupit kayo. Lahat ng gobyerno sa buong mundo kumukupit. Pero, let's just make everything efficient, di ba? If we're buying stuff for let's just make voting easy. Pero siguro, kasi mas gusto nyong pahirapan dahil mas makokontrol nyo, ganun talaga mangyayari. Pero just make government services a lot faster, a lot easier. Kasi I saw how things are done in other countries. It's quick, di ba? So
alam mo, alam mo, expressing your observations sa government. No, it's actually a good thing, actually. It's for them. We all love our country, whether you're for the government or you're a critic. The bottom line is we're doing this because you and I love our country. We just have two different perspectives, no? Two different perspectives on how this country will move on, what direction it will take. But that's the bottom line. And knowing that bottom line, then it will build respect. Diba?
Yes.
Okay, respetado. Okay. Kahit na anong sabihin mo, okay, all right, fine.
May
Okay,
ginagawa ka eh. May ginagawa ka eh.
Okay. I cannot question the wisdom of how you want to show your love for your country. That's why there is mutual respect on arguments, on debates like this. And that's precisely the essence of a democracy. Diba? You respect each other's argument and we go on, move forward. Diba? And kung ganyan parate, kaya kita mo ngayon nagrarally sa Amerika. What a nice thing to behold. Because that is their strength. The protest is their strength. Their freedom of expression is their strength. Diba?
Yes.
So ganda.
Okay. Sir, let's wrap this up. Final thoughts, sir. Final thoughts on everything. And I think let's use this time, like, what can people do? What can people do about this?
People can register if they do not want the anti terrorism law. Register your opposition sa social media. That's the only thing you can do now. Sa social media, legally, civilly, peacefully, and just say your piece. And that's enough. Okay na yun.
Yes.
Kasi social media sa multiplier effect eh. That's the most you can do. That's the level of our competence. Hindi naman pwede tayo mag-rally na lang dyan. Kasi because of how movements are in event, the time now is precisely the time to make social media work. Kaya that's my advice to all those who has the same advocacy as mine, ano? And those who are against me, fine, that's okay. That's your right.
Well, bashers kayo, Tor.
Yeah, okay. Alam mo, I can take it on the chin, Franco. I can take it on the chin. I have so many bashers, I have so many trolls, but I always tell them, God bless you all. God bless you all. Well, what can I do? That's what you think. God bless you all. I can take it on the chin. Fine. No worries for me. So, and then life will move on.
Yep.
Ayan. Thank you very much for having me here.
Attorney Mel Sta, thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this, sir. Thank you so much, and I hope you all learned something from this. And with that, that's what Coach Franco says. Bye-bye.
Coach Franco Says would like to thank the following sponsors for making this episode possible.
The faceless emotion as your senses come together. Being in the moment is the only thing that matters. Knots and crosses. Place your orders on their Facebook and Instagram pages. Gatorade, because nothing beats Gatorade. Inspiring community and culture, spread the good vibes in the local jiu-jitsu community. Visit Ikiro Collective at ikiro.ph. Simply Better Dentistry, designer mouthguards and amazing dental service in the heart of Makati. Visit the Santos Dental Group and Oral Surgery Center. Book an appointment on their Facebook page. Read news about the local martial arts scene here in the Philippines. Visit Local MMA on Facebook and listen to one of my favorite podcasts out there, Destroy MNL. My life is about providing value and helping others achieve their goals. Please help me make more podcast episodes, video tutorials, and educational content that will benefit everybody. Support this channel by clicking the link in the description box. Thank you for your support, and I will keep making content that matters. That's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.